Good morning, everyone. Is my screen visible, Vishal?
Visible.
Okay. So first of all, I will introduce myself. I am Ashish Kumar, and I work as a software engineer in C6 Flight Technologies. And today's session is going to be done by me and Vishal. Vishal, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vishal, and I'm an intern in 365, and I'm currently pursuing MCA in IGNU.
So everyone who has joined new in our session, I would like to discuss that we have our Saturday sessions on fundamentals of programming, which is based on C Sharp, and we do this session every week. So uh, for today's session, we are going to discuss polymorphism. And previously, we have done some sessions in which we have discussed many topics, starting how to use C Sharp and which platform we are using. We're using Visual Studio, some concept with object-oriented programming like objects and classes and everything. So if you would like to go and view all those sessions, you can watch in our YouTube channel. I will drop the link in sometime in our chat. And for today's session, we have our topic polymorphism. So we are going to discuss about polymorphism, its type, its uses, and for overview, we have two types of polymorphism: static polymorphism and dynamic polymorphism. So we'll start polymorphism. So what is polymorphism? We can understand from is like the term polymorphism is combination of two words, poly and morph, which combines and means has multiple forms. Okay. And as I said, we have discussed object-oriented programming, in which we have three main concepts: inheritance, encapsulations, and polymorphism. And polymorphism is one of the important parts there. So what we can understand from polymorphism that it's multiple forms. Okay, so what does we mean in here? Multiple forms. We can say it provides an ability to take more than one form for a method or a function. Okay, like we have a single object or a method can have different functionalities, which can have the same name. Okay, but it can be used in different scenarios or situations and perform different functionalities. Uh, and it occurs and polymorphism in programming. It occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. So what is inheritance? Inheritance lets us inherits the fields and methods from another class. Okay, so we have some classes in which we have methods or some functions in there which we want to use in our different part of our code. So we inherit those classes and use those methods in our function or program whichever we are writing or using. So using this polymorphism term, we can use the same method and same method in different places in like for multiple functionalities. So it provides polymorphism provides an ability for the classes to implement different methods called with the same name. It also provides an ability to invoke derived classes methods through base classes referring reference during runtime or based on outcome. So it can be used in multiple scenarios. Okay, as I said. So first, I will just want to clear the picture of polymorphism. What I'm talking. Like we can take a simple example. If a person or object in programming, we'll discuss as an object or method, but here we can discuss as a person. If a single person is there, okay. So in real, we have only one person here. Like if you consider myself, I'm only one person, but I perform different functionalities in different scenarios or situations. Like this is a person which can be represented or perform functionalities as a son, as a father, as a husband. Like I'm myself, I am Ashish. I have named my own Ashish. Okay, so right now I'm performing a different functionality. I'm right now giving a session, and when I work, I perform different functionalities. So in simpler words, we can simply say that uh, methods we can use same methods of same name in different scenarios with different functionalities, which I said here. It is basically of two types. Okay, one is static polymorphism and dynamic polymorphism. So static polymorphism is also known as compile time polymorphism. Why this is known as compile time polymorphism is whenever we are using those methods with of same name, we can find out like which of them is going to be used in those situations during the compile time only. before the execution. Compile time means before the execution of our program. And in dynamic polymorphism, we have multiple methods in our program. And while we are writing our code, we just can't specify which of them is going to be used. Okay, so it dynamically changes and adapts to the situation which of these methods have been called in which situations. And it uses static and dynamic polymorphism uses two methods like method overloading and overriding, which will be this type will be discussed in depth with by Vishal. So I'll be moving forward and will give a simple example of how we use and like whatever I've said, I will give a demo. So for that, I'll be using Visual Studio. So Visual Studio, I'll create a new project. For C sharp, we use console. Okay, I'll give okay. I'm giving them a project into polymorphism and create. So whenever you create a program in Visual Studio, you are going to get some already present syntax in there, like basic hello world program. So in this scenario, to discuss polymorphism, I'm going to change this. Okay, I'm not going to use this existing method. So in this program, I'm creating a class. I said polygon. Okay. So in this, we are having a class which is going to have multiple methods. So this class polygon will have a method like public. Public is like we have already discussed about access modifiers. And name for we'll give a name for our method is earn. Okay. This is our method, and to use some variables in there, I'm declaring integer variables. A let a be 10, b 20. So this is a method which is going to perform some functionality. So what is going to do? I'm going to define inside that. I'm defining a sum variable which holds the sum of a and b. Okay, and I'm going to print that using console dot write line and that variable sum. So this sum holds the combined value of a plus b. Okay, so what I said, same methods, method with same name. So again, I'm going to define one more method with exactly same name. And inside that, one thing you can say when we are defining same names, I'm getting some error, and this says type polygon already defines a member called earn. Okay, same parameters. So what I said, when we have multiple methods but different functionality. Okay, so to change the functionality, I'm going to here add some parameters for it. Integer a p. Okay, so now we have the same name, but we have different parameters, and we can use the exactly same thing in here. Same integer, same function, same names, but we have a little difference in our parameters. So this can be used in different situations. And all this comes in our polygon class. Now we'll define our main class, which we know that everything inside our main class is get executed. Starting void main. Okay, inside this main method, I'm going to create an object. Okay, so object is like we are using this class and creating an object from there, and we'll use those methods which is defined in that class. Okay, so what we're going to use, we are using polygon class. Inside, I'm going to create an object like profit. Okay, so profit, we'll use the keyword new and that class name, new object from that polygon class. So now we have an object profit which inherits this polygon class. That means that we can use all this method inside the polygon class. So now to use that methods, I'm going to use profit and earn methods that we had here. Two methods earn. So now this polymorphism thing comes. Okay, profit dot earn. Okay, now we have this object accessing this using this earn method. So we have two earns. So how this is going to decide which of these methods is going to be executed? First, we'll run this code. So now we are getting result 30. If you can see, we are having result 30. So how this is decided when I use the earn method. So inside this earn method, we have already defined what this functionality a plus b inside that. Okay, and these parameters are empty. So it already chooses which one is I'm using. So if I want to use the another one with the same name but is different in functionality, so what the difference was there? We had parameters. So we'll use the same name, nothing changes, but we use that other one. We just provide some parameters which was needed in that program method. Now I've just use that same method, but parameters now it automatically understand that we are going to use that one, another one. Now if I'll run, I will see result 90. So having the same name but different functionalities in different situations, we can use that. And polymorphisms provide this benefit, like when we have something. Okay. So this is used at that time when we have multiple, but like some functionality we need at different times, so we can have the same name and we can use accordingly uh, in times we need. So this mainly helps in code reusability. Like we have defined multiple methods with same name, but for different scenarios, and we can use it without any issues. We can have not two, not three. We can have as many as multiple methods with same name, but for different functionalities. So in here, I will just add one more. So same method, but it's now can be used in different functionalities. So still it use I will run it will use the second method. But now if we want to use the third one, I will just change it by -5 minus c, and I'll give some values here for the third parameter. Now if I'll run, it will use the third method. So this is the way we define multiple methods in a single class, and we inherit those classes and use those methods in our program in the situations. And to use those, we use overloading and overriding in different scenarios. Uh, I hope this is clear. And this static and dynamic polymorphism in which scenarios we use is going to be discussed by Vishal from here now. And okay, is this here till now it is clear for everyone?
Yes, Ashish, it's clear.
It's clear. I tried to follow the basics. And now, Vishal, you can take over for the types, static and dynamic.
Thank you, Ashish, and good morning, everyone, and good morning to all newcomers. So I'm just discussing about Saturday session. In every Saturday, we have our Saturday session where we, as a participant, we all are participants. Ashish, Nikhil, and all newcomers, all are participants. So we conduct a Saturday session to clear our fundamentals, where we take sessions. One session will be taken by two people, other session will be taken by other two people. That way, we have Saturday session every other Saturday. So thank you, Ashish, for covering function polymorphism. Let me share the screen and I will start with my session. Polymorphism has been discussed very beautifully by Ashish. Although I have prepared some slides, uh, types of polymorphism, compiled time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism also has been discussed by Ashish. Method overloading has been covered. Although as I have prepared slides, so I will discuss some points. So when about method overloading, when there are multiple methods with same name but different parameters, as Ashish discussed, then methods are said to be overloaded. In simple terms, by polymorphism, we provide entity to perform different tasks, perform a task in different ways based on input. Method overloading programming has been discussed. I will discuss one aspect of method overloading, that is return type is not considered as part of method overloading in C sharp. And when I say return type, I'm talking about the return type that is specified here when we overload our method. Like in a class, I have defined two methods here with same name in a class animal class, tiger with void type and tiger with int type. Here we have function overloading, but this function overloading will not work in C sharp. I mean, in polymorphism, C sharp will not consider void as a uh, different method. So when Ashish was writing a code, when he was writing his method with same name, he was getting compile error until unless he defined some parameters here. So until unless he defined some parameters here. So whenever we write uh, polymorphism method and we have different um, return type, it will still get error at compile time, and this happens because of ambiguity problem. Because compiler doesn't know which when we call method, compiler doesn't know which method to call, whether to call void tiger method or void or int tiger method. When we define some parameters here, it gets an idea, but without parameter, it doesn't get an idea. So return type is not considered as a part of method overloading. I will move on to operator overloading. It is a compile type overloading. C sharp has the ability to provide operators with special meaning for data. This ability is known as operator overloading. For example, we override plus operator in a class like string, so we can concatenate two strings. The purpose of operator overloading is to provide special meaning to operator for user-defined type. How we overload operator? An operator can be overloaded by defining function to it. The function operator is declared by using operator keyword. Here I have written here I have syntax for operator overloading. We define access specifier, class name, operator, and operator symbol. As of now, I'm not discussing operator overloading programming. We will have another session for operator overloading, understanding operator overloading. Let's move to dynamic. Let's move to dynamic polymorphism. That's runtime polymorphism. Uh, Runtime polymorphism. Dynamic and runtime polymorphism is also known as late binding. Here, method name and method signature parameters, number of parameters type must be same and may have different implementation. Method overriding is an example of dynamic polymorphism. Method overriding can be done using inheritance using virtual keyword. And if you have not idea of inheritance, I will be discussing in another slide how we inherit a class from base class to derived class. To perform method overriding, In C Sharp, we need to use virtual keyword with base class method and override keyword with derived class. Let's move to another slide to have better understanding. So here I have defined a class animal. It has a method void method eat, and I have written a keyword virtual before void type virtual. This keyword tells that this method is overridable when we inherit this class. So by specifying virtual, I specified that this each method is overridden, can be overridden by inherited class. And in here, I defined a class dog which inherits animal. To inherit, we write a colon and a class name. Dog is a dog is a derived class which is inheriting from base class animal. So whenever we inherit a class, dog will have all the mm, dog will have all the members of animal class. So dog have the access to each class, but I have written here, but to override this each method of animal class in a dog class, we have to write public override before the method name that I'm overriding the class. Now I write the method definition, and when we call this when we run this program from main, and I will call this eat function with the object of dog, it will show the overridden method. So let me dry run this code. Whenever a code is executed, it gets executed from main method. So here I'm creating a d dog is a class name, and d is a reference variable. Here I'm in this line I'm creating a object by new operator. I've created an object d. So this d object I'm calling the method eat. So as you know, dog inherited dog inherited the variable from animal. When I call eat, it will show this overridden method eating bread. So this method eat has been overridden by this method. Let's move to next slide. So base keyword. Base keyword is used to access fields consider the method of base class. We can use base keyword to access fields of base class within derived class. If base class is derived from same field. Like here, when I write the code d.eat, I have got access to overridden method. When I use base method, I can get access to eat method of the animal. We'll show by example. I'm dry running this code. My system is slow. If I open what Visual Studio, I might get error. I might get error. So using base keyword, I'm accessing base class, field of base class. Here in a class, here I defined a public class animal, the public member, string color white. Another class dog, which inherits from animal. It has also it does have a member color, same member name with color, black color. Now written a public void method show color console.writeLine base.color. This console.writeLine writes whatever is written inside this bracket to console. Whatever object is written in this console. Console.writeLine color So let's try run this code. What will happen? Dog, I've written object d dot show color. When I say d dot show color, it will call this method after console dot write line base dot color. This means I'm asking for variable of base method of base class. So when it's in base dot color, this will call this color. That's why it's written white here. And next line console dot write line color. When it's a color, it will write the method member of public field member of its own class. So by base method, base keyword, we can get access to members or methods defined in base class from derived class. So here I have written code for base keyword to call methods of base class using base keyword to call the method of base class from inherited class. Here again I have written a class animal name, class animal, which has been inherited by different class dog. It has its method eat, which says eating, and animal have dog has its method void eat. It says eating bread, and it has base dot eat. This means this will call the eat method of base class. Let's try run this code. Created a dog object d dot eat will call the eat function of dog class, and when it's run this code base dot eat, it will call eat function of base class. That's why I write eating. It will run this code and write eating. And second line, it will write eating bread. So let's discuss about sealed classes. In C Sharp, sealed keyword applies restriction on the class and method. If you create sealed class, it cannot be derived. If you create a sealed method, it cannot be overridden. As you see here, we were inheriting these classes using inheritance. So if I define this class as sealed, I mean, if this class I seal, then this dog class cannot inherit dog animal class. So when we try to inherit sealed class, the compile time error will come that derived class name cannot derive from sealed class base type of the base class name. So to example of sealed class, here we have written a code class animal which has been prefixed with sealed keyword. This means this animal cannot get inherited from any class. And here in this line, I'm trying to inherit dog animal class to dog class. So when I try to do this, it will give me compile time error. The derived class cannot be derived from seal type. And same happens with the method. Whenever we try to override a seal method, it will give a method name and it says that the method cannot be overridden by inherited member. So we have done till seal classes. So that's it for today's session. We have finished our polymorphism topic. And in next session, we will be dealing with exception and error handling. So anybody have any doubt, they can ask. So so that's it. We are concluding our session here. Thank you for joining in.